Alright, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Ranger Flem, and welcome everyone to Black Clover episode 27. In today's episode, it was mostly just plain, if I could say it. It wasn't filler, it wasn't going towards the story. I would say it was like a half and half if you look at it. Really, it's just kind of information that we got. You know, what the Eye of the Midnight Sun was truly after. Even though they were after Leon, there's more of a backstory towards it. But either way, kind of started throughout the episode. It was pretty good. Or I wouldn't really say pretty good. It was just good. It was at that matter, whatever. I still enjoyed it. But either way, let's do it. Start off the episode of Austin the Wizard King. Really, they see like this god, like, figure. You know, it's the one I'm pretty sure that attacked Leon and what his state is at now, you know, him losing an arm. And we kind of, you know, get more in depth of that, of kind of what their base is, etc. like that. You know, we see Raw that he wants payback. We see Sally that, of course, she's still a crazy girl, wants to do experiments on Asta, and then we kind of get, you know, information of who this guy actually was. Afterwards, we see his right arm, you know, almost gone, that the Wizard Cane hit him. We actually didn't get to see that part, though, you know, in the episode, like kind of like a background information of maybe there was going to be a fight between them, and then afterwards they would disappear. We didn't really actually see that. He just kind of gave information of this is what the Wizard Cane actually did to my arm. I kind of wish there was a fight towards that. It just kind of showed like the same scene of him on this, you know, like statue thing where, of course, you know, these gems go towards that. They're using these gems for a certain thing towards, you know, the Clover Kingdom to destroy it, example like that. I'm just kind of mad they didn't show a fight scene towards that. It just kind of, you know, showed the image, and afterwards he kind of talked, and then we see this guy build an army. You know, this is the Midnight Sun army that eventually will come after the Clover Kingdom, and there's going to be a big war going on. So in the future of Black Clover, we are definitely going to see a war between the Clover Kingdom and Eye of the Midnight Sun, which is pretty cool. I like this. It's kind of like being prepared for Black Clover that it hasn't been before. You know, Asta and you know becoming Magic Knights for the first time, and then afterwards now they're going to be in a war in the future, which it's definitely crazy. I like the motive that they're going towards. I love how they're building up each and every time, which we are going to get probably more in future episodes, and then afterwards something like that will probably. And I liked about in today's episode was Leo's, you know, character development, him stepping up. You know, because after that was all done, you know, we kind of see all the Magic Knights gather around while Leon and Leo are being treated. And I like how just Leon's character is building up more. You know, he's kind of, if I could put it to him, he is like Asta a little bit. But I like it that ever since his brother is in this state right now, it's his turn to take his brother's stuff. Because I feel like it's like with that in real life or with anime, that if you have an older brother, example like that, you want to try to surpass him or more with your family. And that's what we get in today's episode with Leo. And we see that kind of background of why Leon had that mark on his head. Because Leon's, you know, dream was like Austin, you know, he wanted to become the Wizard King someday. And now, since, you know, he's in this state that he might not even become the Wizard King, or not even probably become a Magic Knight anymore, you know, it's Leo's turn to step up. So I like it that, you know, he kind of had that mark on his head, that he's taking it seriously, that he'll even surpass Asta and his brother, that he will become the Wizard King someday, which I kind of like about that. I'm glad, just because, you know, Leon's character is a funny guy. You know, he's kind of like that comedy if you look at Asta. But if they're really going towards their goals, like we've seen those moments with Asta, we've seen the moment with Leo right now, and then afterwards we kind of just get like, you know, that good old comedy of Austin not knowing who he is and etc. like that. But definitely Leo's character, it gets better and better, which I'm hoping they actually show in the anime compared to what they have in the manga. So it's really good. I like his character a lot more, and I'm excited to see more of him in the future. I'm going to get to kind of the information that we got in today's episode was, you know, the Eye of the Midnight Sun, the kind of the reason why they attacked the Clover Kingdom was to go after Leon. And we're questioning of why did they want to go after Leon, and it's because he wears this pendant around his neck, and that pendant goes on that, you know, stone statue, which we've seen actually Asta get that in the neighboring town when he was on that mission with Noelle and Magna. And, you know, Leon was wearing one of those pendants, or that gem, and they simply took the gem. Of course, Leon had to fight, but he lost an arm afterwards, and that was their motive right there, was to simply get that gem. So it's going to be really interesting of since Asta actually has that and nobody doesn't even know what it is. Like, we've seen Magna and Noelle and Asta look at it, and it's like, oh, there's a gem right here, and etc. like that, but they don't really know their motive. But I feel like afterwards, if the Wizard King or even Yami sees that, it's gonna, you know, cause a chaos, and eventually I feel like the Eye of the Midnight Sun's gonna know that Austin and them are gonna have it. So it's pretty cool what it has right there. We kind of saw the motive of why they're after Leon. But poor him, man. Hopefully he does get better as a Magic Knight. But don't worry, it's going to get better throughout the story. Another big information news of, we've seen this from the Wizard King as well, that the Clover Kingdom has kind of a shield around it. So, you know, if an intruder comes in or whatever, they'll detect them like that. But since it was so planned out, the Wizard King knew that there has to be a traitor amongst someone in the Clover Kingdom or the Magic Knights. And I love this part just because this part coming up in Black Clover, it's going to be really interesting. It surprised me so much in the manga, and I cannot wait for it to see it in animation. And I'm pretty excited because, you know, this guy is a big character, you know, in the Clover Kingdom, him being a traitor. I won't give too much spoilers out, don't worry. This is the last time I'm going to be talking about it until it eventually happens in the anime. But, you know, it's something that's going to be really shocking to a lot of people. And I feel like it's going to be a good surprise, and I'm glad that we're kind of getting this because it's pretty cool, you know, at least like someone that's supposedly on the good side is on, you know, the opposite side. So that's interesting there. And also another thing I want to talk about in this anime that happened was, of course, the Silver Eagles characters, or I guess the Silver Eagles in general, which is, you know, Noelle's family, you know, her brothers and her sister. So, you know, them still being, you know, dicks, still them being, you know, kind of terrible people. We get a different side from Nozzle. We get a different side of them because, you know, knowing the Silver Eagles, and even me seeing it throughout my anime, you know, reviews right here for Black Clover, that they really only care about themselves and want to, you know, become better people. And we see a different side from Nozzle, that he's actually caring about someone else instead of himself, which I kind of see a big character development from him, that when Leon was hurt, he wants to get payback from the guy that did this to him. He didn't say it out loud or anything. He just said it in his mind. But of course, you know, English subtitles or English dub, when it comes out, we knew that he said it. So definitely a big character change throughout that, you know, especially him. You know, his brother, sister, they probably still don't care, just like they said in a couple episodes back. But I like it how, you know, definitely his character build, because, you know, he's still kind of an ass, you know, still towards the manga or anything. So I like it that he has some good inside him, but either way, he's still going to be the same character no matter what. And the last thing I'll talk about in today's episode was, it was at the very end when we finally reached the Black Bull's base, which I'm kind of happy that we've seen it. You know, it's been such a long time since we actually seen them in the base. I think it was after they go to the dungeon arc, I do believe so, because after the dungeon arc, I actually came back. So it's good to see the Black Bull's base again and all, you know, the Black Bull members, which is really awesome. You know, good big old family reunion. But I kind of find it funny that, you know, when we saw at, you know, the beginning of this arc of, you know, some Magic Knights were getting higher tier up than others, and you need those tiers that if you want to become the Wizard King one day, you got to go above and beyond everyone else to eventually get to that point. And we see actually Asta become one of those Magic Knight ranks. And also, it was a pretty funny part in this episode as well, which the comedy is still good in Black Clover, that even Charmy got a rank up as well for her capturing the witch, or the old hag, however you want to say her character. But it was pretty awesome even for hers, and she's the highest magic rank right now within the Black Bulls, which I kind of find funny. Even, you know, we see Magna's reaction. Even Luck, I feel like we get a more, you know, kind of comedy side with him than with Magna reacting, but it was kind of like a serious thing, so I feel like Luck wants to, you know, go up those magic ranks as well. But yeah, we have Charmy, so it's really Yami who's the captain, and then you have Charmy, which is below, which if you look at all the Black Bull members, you think, Charmy? Really? She's the second highest? But either way, that was today's episode. It was, like I said, I don't think it was really filler because it was still talking about the story, learning more about characters, who the traitor is, etc. like that. But it kind of felt like it at the same time. I don't know. I'm kind of bad when it comes to filler stuff or whatever. I feel like it's a half and half thing. If you look at it, it's half story, half filler, but it definitely like questions. It's like a questioning episode of what's going to happen next. And we get the preview for next episode as well. I feel like you're not going to look forward to it as much because I feel like it is going to be filler, and then afterwards it will go towards story. So not really anything that's going to be hyped. The next episode of Black Clover right here, but the episode afterwards I feel like you guys will enjoy. So going into next week for Black Clover, I feel like it's going to be an app, but you never know. They surprised us before, and even for me. Either way, that was my review, guys, of episode 27 today of Black Clover. Really, guys, I kind of did enjoy it. It still put a smile on my face. And I feel like this episode just goes for a 7 out of 10 today. I don't feel like it should be any higher. I definitely don't think it should be lower. I think a 7 out of 10 is a great pace because it was good. I enjoyed it. But then there were some parts where I was like, that's kind of boring, etc. So I feel like just at that kind of middle pace right there is a good one for today's episode. But I hope that you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment down below what your favorite part of today's episode was. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, and we'll see you guys next week for episode 28 of Black Clover. And as always, guys, have yourselves a wonderful day.